Welcome to Veterans Archives, where we are dedicated to preserving the stories of our nation's heroes. We hope you enjoy this story. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like and share our videos. Check us out across all social media. Be sure to like and share those pages as well. And for more information, go to www.veteransarchives.org. Today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. We're talking with Kevin Martin, who served in the United States Navy. So good afternoon, Kevin.
How you doing?
Great. We're going to start off really easy. When and where were you born?
September 19th, 1988, Detroit, Michigan.
Well, happy birthday.
Nice.
The same age as my son, actually. That's kind of funny. So did you live in Detroit then? Or?
Kind of bounced around a little bit when I was real young. I remember being in Farmington for a few years, Southfield for between 6 and 8 years, and then we moved out to Gregory in the middle of nowhere. And that's where I lived until I graduated high school.
Okay, so about what age were you when you moved out to Gregory?
7th grade.
Okay.
So.
That wonderful time in life.
Yeah.
So what can you tell me about growing up as a kid? Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I had a half sister who's about a year older than me. Then my baby sister is 4 years younger than me.
Okay, so you're the middle kid.
Yes.
You fall into that category, you think, pretty well?
I mean, my half sister didn't live with us.
Oh, okay.
Except for maybe about a year. So really, I was kind of just the older brother.
I see. And what was it like growing up for you? What do you remember?
Southfield, a lot of riding my bike around the neighborhood. My grandparents lived 5 blocks from us, so every day after school I was riding my bike over there, hanging out with Grandpa. He was Army as well, so golf balls, model airplanes, model trains. As I got older, started getting into firearms. That was more after I joined the service, though. So.
Did you always like working with your hands and your mind? It sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, my first job was working for my dad. He owned a bicycle shop, so from the time I was 14, I was a mechanic.
Okay. Did you enjoy working for your dad, or did you have to work for your dad? I always wondered.
I enjoyed it. He kind of put he kind of designed his own little chain of command for me. Mm-hmm. That way I wasn't reporting directly to him, so he made sure to put that separation in there so nobody thought that I was getting favoritism or anything. So I didn't mind it.
Okay. And what was school like for you? That good, huh?
Yeah, I actually played hockey a lot growing up. I think between 8 and 10 years I played hockey, most of which as a goaltender. Parents actually pulled me, and just because my grades kept slipping, I wasn't exactly a academic in high school. I think my guidance counselor from the high school I graduated from still uses me as an example of what not to do in my senior year. Just to graduate on time, I had to get 12 out of 8 possible credits to make sure I graduated on time.
Okay. So you were a cautionary tale when you left.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And do you have any favorite subjects in school, though?
Math, science, computers. Probably computers most of all. Mm-hmm. I did vocational school, or career center they called it. My junior year I was in an electronics program, and then my senior year I was in the computer repair program. So I had a computer certification before I even graduated high school.
Oh, okay. All right. What about friends? Did you have a lot of friends in school?
I wouldn't say a lot, but quality over quantity.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so you go through school, you graduate, it sounds like barely.
Yeah.
So what happens next?
Signed my contract before I turned 18. Gotten a little trouble with my now wife, actually, because she was underage at the time. So, but yeah, really just kind of slacked around, got into trouble until I shipped off to boot camp.
How long were you in delayed entry?
Six months.
Oh, long enough to get in trouble.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was a SEAL candidate, so I was real delayed because I had to go through all the pre-pipeline stuff.
Now, even though you sign up for that, that's not like guaranteed, is it?
Yeah, it was guaranteed in my contract. I mean, I had to go through boot camp, go through buds, the whole 9 yards, but I ended up getting hurt, so I had to drop out of the SEAL program.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, before we get there, though, so do you remember when you shipped out, like when you went to basic training?
February 6th, 2007.
Okay. And talk to me a little about what it was like to arrive there. First of all, where did you go to basic?
Great Lakes, Illinois, north of Chicago, about 40 minutes.
Okay.
We were the first bus to show up for our class, and I guess they weren't expecting us yet, so
Wow, surprise, we're here.
yeah, pretty much.
And what was that like for you? Did you know what to expect, or were you taken by surprise by anything?
I mean, I had watched some videos on like Marine Corps boot camp and stuff like that, but I mean, obviously I didn't really know what to expect, but I knew it was going to be a lot of mind games, you know, a lot of yelling at you, doing opposite orders to see what would happen. And as a SEAL candidate at the time, I was probably in the best shape of my life anyway, so, you know, when they tried to beat us, and a couple of us who were all special operations guys, we just made a game out of it.
What do you remember most about basic training?
We were one of the lucky divisions that had to do battle stations twice. Battle stations is like the final exercise. It's similar to the, you know, the Crucible for Marines and
Right.
things like that. But yeah, we because us and our brother division were the first group of our graduating class to finish running battle stations for the old style. The old style, you literally had to run around the whole base doing the different exercises at different points. But because we were the first ones to finish, they decided, oh, well, you guys can try out the new battle stations. So we had to go into the new, they basically had a mock ship built up that we had to go in there and test that one out for a night too. So we got to do battle stations twice.
So here's your reward for a job well done.
Yeah,
more
pretty
work.
much.
And so how was graduation for you? Did your family show up?
Yeah, mom, dad, sister. I think that was it.
Okay. All right. Are they pretty proud of you for getting through? And
Oh yeah.
okay. And so you must have graduated what, February, March, right around April time frame.
Yep.
All right. And then what happens next?
Well, I start going through the pipeline for SEAL, got hurt, switched over to EOD, found out I was claustrophobic underwater, so ended up crossing over to corpsman.
Okay. That's quite a change.
Yep. So basically when I left the pipeline for special operations community, they basically told me I could either go undesignated, which is basically jobless. You do all the random crap that nobody else wants to do.
Right.
Or I could go corpsman. I was like, well, corpsman, those guys, that's medical, right? Yeah. They go to combat? Yeah. I'll do that. So
There you go. Not a tough choice then for you.
no.
So where was your corpsman A school at?
Great Lakes.
Oh, so you got to see the world.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I literally just went across the street.
Yeah. And how long were you there? Do you remember?
want to say about core school was about 5 months.
Okay. Is there anything about that school that sticks out in your mind when you think back?
Man, I know it's a bunch of just another school. You know, they're trying to screw with you mentally still, and you're trying to get through and get the. At the time, it was 13 tests. I don't know what it is anymore, but you know, by test 13, you know, most of us are, you know, highest stage of liberty, so we can go out all night or whatever. But I know studying for test 13, a group of us would go out the gate, across the street to the to the train station, jump in a cab, go get White Castle. We'd each get a crave case of, you know, 30 burgers and come back and start studying again, pounding those.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people don't know about White Castle burgers, but
yeah,
I still think they're the best.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
I think they're made out of rat meat, but they taste great. I'm not gonna lie. I went to Great Lakes as well,
Okay.
not for basic, but for my A school. And,
Okay.
I remember that. We had a deal like if you scored 90 or above on your test on Friday, you could leave at noon. And so I would study really hard because then I would hop the train and come back to Michigan every weekend.
Yeah, I came back a couple times on the train, but you know, Amtrak, they're
So reliable.
yeah, I think the fastest I ever got back was 4 hours later than I was supposed to.
Yeah.
So,
Good times.
yeah.
All right, so you get done with your A school, and where do you go next?
U.S. Naval Hospital, Yokosuka, Japan.
Okay. What was Japan like? Tell me about that.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, when you first get there, you got to go through a 1 week indoctrination so that they can, you know, show you the ins and outs of Japan. And the last day, they give you a token for the train, and they basically tell you, go get lost. So you got a group of 4 of us, and like, yeah, do we want to go here? Do we want to go check this out? What do we want to do? And I think we decided to go see the Kamakura Temple and the Great Buddha. They were within a couple kilometers of each other, and only a couple train stops away. But we get off the train, and they give you this little dummy card that says in English and in kanji, "Hey, I'm an American. Help me, I'm lost."
Right? Please don't take my money.
Yeah, I didn't really have to worry about that a lot over there.
Yeah.
But we're walking, we get a couple blocks, and we're like, we have no idea where we're going. And we pull out our dummy card and show it to this nice old Japanese lady that's walking by, and she's like, "Oh, hi." We're like, "Great Buddha." "Oh, Buddha? Hi, hi." And she literally grabs one of our arms and walks us like 6 blocks to the Great Buddha before turning around and walking right back the direction she was initially going. It's like, that never would have happened in America.
No, that's awesome though.
Yeah, the culture over there is phenomenal.
Yeah. And did you find that quite often while you were there that people treated you really well?
Yeah, I mean, they're very anti-confrontation over there.
Yeah.
Whole different standard of honor. I know when I was over there, we had an issue with a guy on one of the ships stabbed a cab driver, and the admiral had to literally go in front of the family with the prime minister and literally hold a bow until they relieved him. Just the amount of honor over there I miss it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can tell just by the way you're talking about it. It must have been a great experience. What kinds of things did you do at the Naval Hospital there? What were some of your duties?
I was a EMT in the emergency department there.
Okay. So that can be kind of busy, can't it?
Oh yeah, my first day there, I'm in my dress blues, and I, go do a bunch of my check-in stuff, and my HM1 at the time, he's like, "Well, I don't really have anything else for you at this point, so why don't you go down to the ER and introduce yourself?" I walk in, I'm in my dress blues, and there's people running all over the place. I'm like, "I am H.A. Martin" at the time. They're like, "You're the new guy?" I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "Take this pen, take this notebook." I'm like, "What am I doing?" They're like, "Write down everything you see." I'm like, what are you talking about? Code blue. I'm like, oh crap. So I literally walk into a cardiac arrest as soon as I'm walking in to check in. So I'm like, well, talk about getting thrown into the deep end.
Welcome to your new job.
Yeah, pretty much.
And how long were you there?
I was in the ER from October 2007 through February 2009. And then I got transferred to a outlying clinic up in Nagishi, Japan.
Okay.
Which was literally a group of like 5 or 6 of us. We're on a base of 1, 2, 3, like 4 buildings, one of them being the barracks. It was literally a housing base. So we just did all the patient care for, any of the active duty members that may be up there or their families really. But I got transferred up there to basically run their ambulance department.
Okay. And how long did you do that for?
February 09 until I PCS'd in December of 09.
Okay. So you PCS'd, where'd you go from Japan?
I went to Camp Pendleton, California, for field medical service training.
Okay.
So that I can do my training for the Marines.
All right. So for anyone listening to or watching this right now, Camp Pendleton's a Marine Corps base.
Yep.
Yep. So how long was that training? Were they just trying to acclimate you to the Marine Corps, or what was that all about?
So it's basically to teach you, it's basically a mini boot camp for the Marine Corps that also does some field medicine training, above what they teach in Corps school and what you would learn in a hospital.
Okay. And how long were you in that training?
That was an 8-week course.
So was there anything in there that sticks out in your mind, anything that you found surprising or different from what you had been doing?
Definitely a totally different animal than the hospital, being with the Marines. You wake up on the first day and all of a sudden it's like you're back in boot camp. Everybody's screaming at you. You can't do anything right. It's like, I'm a E4. Why are you screaming at me right now? Like, you're nothing. Okay, here we go again.
Yep, very familiar.
Yep.
Was that difficult for you? Having been in Japan, having had responsibilities there, to come back and kind of be treated that way. How'd you respond to that?
Yeah, it was different, but it's part of the game.
Yeah, that's true. And then, so what happens next? Where do you go from there?
Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, 2nd Medical Battalion.
Okay. And what were some of your responsibilities there?
None. I absolutely, that was probably my least favorite duty station. As soon as you check in, really the only thing they care about is you getting your warfare pin. So it's really just study for that.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, it's medical battalion and garrison. There's nothing to do. So
Wow.
it's literally listen to people yell at you to get paperwork done when there's only, 5 computers for the entire company. Mm-hmm. But so, you can't do anything, and they won't let you do any special assignments because you don't have your pin yet. So basically I had to sit around for a couple months until I got a deployment billet.
Okay. And where'd you deploy to?
Afghanistan, Helmand Province, Camp Leatherneck.
And was that so that's Marine, so was that a 6 or a 9 month tour?
It was 9 month.
Okay. So talk to me about what it was like when you first got there.
I mean, going through workups, I talked to a lot of, because I didn't deploy with Med Battalion. Mm-hmm. I deployed with Combat Logistics Battalion 8. So, I had guys in my platoon that had deployed before, so I was, just trying to get as much information from them as to what to expect. And I mean, going over there as a line corpsman, you got, 40 Marines that you're in charge of their lives basically. So it's definitely a whole different sense of responsibility at 22 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of young to have that sort of responsibility.
Yeah.
And you were there, what year is it that you were in?
2011, January through September.
Okay. And having deployed myself, there's no such thing as a typical day, ever. But can you kind of walk me through what it was like on a daily basis there?
I mean, for the first couple months, for the first month really, we were doing turnover with the battalion we were taking over for. So getting the trucks ready, doing some training missions with them. For me, making sure everybody had their Mojave Viper, I had to make sure everybody had their smallpox vaccines and everything. So making sure they were all medically good to go. When you get over there, it's making sure they're all taking their malaria pills. Basically just getting ready to go to work.
Yeah, yep. And then so you got there, and now you're working. Talk to me about what you did with Marines.
With CLBA, it was a lot of brain fart convoys. Mm-hmm. So we were doing logistics across the desert to different FOBs. For a couple weeks, I got tasked out with a ground pound unit to offer support while they got another corpsman to fill in for somebody. So I had to fill in until they got another guy over there. But yeah, two completely different ball games between the ground pounders and the logistics.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it pretty busy?
Yeah, I mean, we were in a hot zone, so Helmand Province, there's a lot of training facilities there for the Taliban. So pretty much, I won't say every, but most of our missions, there was some sort of action.
Right. Right. Did you guys have a lot of injuries, casualties?
I mean, I can say I never lost anybody. We definitely took our share of injuries, though. Mm-hmm. I did lose one when I was with the ground pounders. That's kind of a memory that I push back in my head and don't think about a lot anymore.
I can understand that.
But yeah, I definitely definitely earned my paycheck. We'll say it that way.
Right. You took care of people though too.
Yeah.
Did you develop some pretty close relationships with the guys then?
Oh yeah, I still talk to a lot of them today.
Yeah.
Our platoon actually had the best ratings going through Mojave Viper, so we had a total of 5 platoons within our company, and two were paired up together, and then our platoon, we were actually paired up with local national tankers, so we had to transport fuel all over the AO. So we definitely got some cultural experience as well.
Mm-hmm. Drink a lot of chai while you were there?
No, actually.
Oh, okay. I was curious because when I was in northern Iraq and we worked closely with like local leaders, and so that was the thing. You sat around and drank chai with them.
Yeah, that didn't really happen in the South End.
Lucky. Chai in dirty glasses is not that much fun.
Oh, I bet.
Well, good. So, is there anything, when you think about that deployment, is there anything that sticks out in your mind? Like when you think about your deployment to Afghanistan, what's like the first thing that pops into your head? What do you remember the most?
Sandstorms are actually pretty freaking cool. I mean, the first one's a little trippy when you see it, but once you realize what it is and you see them in the movies and just see it rushing in, it's not how it happens at all. There was one mission we were on. My truck was always second or third from the rear. Mm-hmm. That way, if somebody took a casualty, we didn't have to turn around. We could just fly up the side of the convoy. And we're at a halt for something, and I look behind me, and I see 2 of my Marines crouched down with some sort of stick or something poking at a bush. I open up my back door. I'm like, Hunter, Snipper, what the hell are you guys doing? It's a desert crocodile, Doc. What are you talking about? I jump out, run over there. They're messing with a little lizard about 6 inches long. I'm like, really? Leave the lizard alone.
Don't play with the wildlife, gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. When I was with the ground pounders, we were doing a mission through a brain fart.
You're going through a town.
Nope. Green area in the middle of the desert.
Oasis.
Oasis, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're going through an oasis and we take a halt, and it's only my third or fourth day with them.
Uh-huh.
So I sit down underneath a tree. I've got my arm on my med bag, and I'm just watching, seeing who are going to be my problem children, who's going to be good at helping me out. All of a sudden, 2 groups of Marines just start walking in on each other. They create a circle, and all of a sudden they start cheering, and I'm like, what is going on? All of a sudden, one side starts cheering while the other's all acting bummed. And then all of a sudden, it just goes dead quiet. Like, what's going on? And I just see heads going like this, and they start pointing at me and like, Doc! I'm like, crap! Grab my bed bag, run over there, and there's a guy kneeling down, holding his arm like this. I'm like, what'd you do? Nothing. What'd you freaking do? He might have gotten stung. What did you get stung by? Scorpion. I'm like, what? Where is it? Over there, in a box. I'm like, open it. Mm-mm. Open it, because I need to know what kind of antivenom to give him. Opens it. I'm like, God, give him the antivenom, call a bird in. I'm like, look, you guys, what are you doing? They're like, oh, we thought it would be cool to fight 2 scorpions and see what happened. I'm like, oh, you guys are idiots. Please stop playing with the wildlife. Now we're down a man.
There's nothing worse than bored Marines.
There's really not.
Yeah. Endless source of entertainment.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. So were you single when you were deployed?
I was dating a girl.
Uh-huh.
I was never married my entire time in.
Oh, okay. All right. So you finish up your deployment in Afghanistan and you come back to the States.
Yep.
All right. Talk to me a little bit about what it was like to leave Afghanistan and come home.
I actually tried to stay. I didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
I don't know, life was just easier over there. You wake up every morning, you know exactly what you're doing. You know who the enemy is. Not like here where, you got people who go out and shoot Charlie Kirk or something. That's
right.
You know who the enemy is. You know who your friends are. That's that. It was just easier over there. So yeah, I talked to my chief a couple of weeks before I came back. I was like, Chief, can I stay? He's like, no, little Filipino guy. No, I brought all you motherfuckers over here. I'm taking all you motherfuckers home. God damn it, Chief. All right.
Right. So you pack up your stuff and you come back.
Yep.
And what was it like for you to kind of step off that plane back in the States and after having been gone for that period of time?
Environmental shock.
Yeah.
When I got on the plane in Afghanistan to come home, it was September, so it's 135, 140 degrees, and I got off the plane. We stopped in Kyrgyzstan and then Germany, and then came back to Cherry Point, North Carolina. But it's 2 a.m, and it's only 80 degrees, but it's 95% humidity. It was like walking into a wall.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on dry heat? Like it was 135 where I was at. People go, oh, it's a dry heat. 135 is 135 to me.
It is, but I thought that 135 was easier to handle than that 80 at 90% humidity. So
yeah, 100%.
So
sure.
I totally agree with the whole dry heat, wet heat thing. Yeah, it's still hot, but at least your sweat's evaporating, not just condensing on your body.
Right. Take a shower, you get out, you dry off, you're wet again. In like
exactly.
2 minutes. Yeah, I hear you. So Now, what happens after you get back?
Well, we actually got delayed getting off the bus. My girlfriend and her parents came down for the welcome home, and it's 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever it is. One of my Marines actually found out his wife was unfaithful 2 weeks before we came home, and she showed up to the welcome home with the guy. Now, mind you, this Marine was 140 pounds soaking wet. It took me and 3 corporals to hold him down. And the commanding officer had to basically call base security, have them escorted off the base. So we're sitting there waving at our friends and family for 45 minutes before we can get off the bus. But
I feel like that happens on every deployment. There's that one guy that happens to, it feels like.
Unfortunately. I mean, it's one thing I can say about the girl I was dating at the time. I never had a doubt that she was faithful.
Yeah.
We finally get off the bus and couldn't get a barracks room that late at night, so I went back to the hotel with my girl and her parents, and they're like, well, we're exhausted, we're going to bed. I'm like, I'm on Afghan time. I'm gonna go out on the catwalk, and I actually called her from Kyrgyzstan. It's like, hey, let me talk to your mom. She's like, okay. Mom, I need you to pick me up a 6-pack of Bud Light. She's like, Bud Light? You don't drink that. I was like, I haven't drank in 9 months. I'm easing back into it. She's like, all right, I can respect that. So she brought me a 6-pack of Bud Light, and I walk out on the catwalk, light a cigarette, and I crack open a beer, and I look down, and 2 of my Marines are down there. They're like, Doc, come drink with us. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So I walk down there, and I'm just gonna stick with my 6-pack. I'm like, Doc, have some wine. No, yes, okay. Doc, have some screwdrivers. No, yes, okay. 5 o'clock rolls around, I'm just tanked. And I climb back up to the the hotel room, lay down next to the girlfriend. I'm like, babe, are you awake? She's like, yeah. I was like, I need you to do me a favor. Go to room 113, get Lance Corporal Collier, and go to the car and get my med bag. She's like, why? I was like, I need an IV. She's like, you're going to let a drunk Marine give you an IV? I was like, yes. She's like, why don't you just teach me how to do it? No. Whack!
Oh my. That's quite a homecoming.
Oh yeah. I feel like there's a lot of stories like that though.
Oh yes. Yes, absolutely. So you get home, you're still down in Cherry Point. What happens after that? What happens after you get back?
I actually take my post-deployment leave, came back for my older half-sister's wedding. Actually called my mom before I came back because my mom has worked in healthcare for years. She knew I was a corpsman, and the wedding was going to be the first time I had seen her since leaving for Afghanistan, my pre-deployment leave. I was like, Mom, I need to tell you something right now. I don't want you causing a scene at the wedding. She's like, what? I was like, I started smoking in Afghanistan. She's like, you're in healthcare. You know better than that. Yeah, but guess what? When you're getting shot at and blown up, you really don't give a fuck.
Right. Yeah. I'm not a smoker really, but I smoked when I was in the Army, for sure.
Yeah.
It does it to you.
Yep. I mean, we were on a patrol when we were over there, and I looked left. I was bored. I took point. I look left. Everybody's smoking. I look right. Everybody's smoking. I'm like, fuck it. Give me a cigarette. You don't smoke, Doc? I could step on a fucking landmine right now. Just give me a goddamn cigarette. Okay. Hands me a cigarette. I didn't know what I was smoking at the time, so I light it up, hack a couple times, and then get the hang of it. And I'm all of a sudden, by the end of it, I'm walking like this. Staff Sergeant, everybody halt. Doc, what the fuck is wrong with you? Smoked a cigarette, Staff Sergeant. The hell did you smoke? I don't know, whatever he gave me. Lucky strike. So, very first cigarette was a non-filter. It was, Staff Sergeant, Doc, if you want to smoke from now on, you're going to smoke what we smoke. What's that? Lucky Strikes. Or Newports. Okay, whatever. So all through Afghanistan, I was smoking Newports. came back, switched to reds, and dropped from 2 packs a day down to 1 pack a day. Just pretty much smoked the rest of my time in the service.
Yeah, no doubt. So you get back, you survive your mom's wrath.
Yeah.
And what's your next duty station then?
Went back to Med Battalion, unfortunately, because they basically send you TAD to go on deployment.
Oh, okay.
So Med Battalion was my parent command. But by that time, I already had my warfare pin. I got that while I was in Afghanistan. I earned my Fleet Marine Force, what's the technical term for it? Enlisted Fleet Marine Force Warfare Specialist pin. Also re-enlisted while I was over there. So I came back as, a senior, experienced corpsman with the Med Battalion. So did a little bit of training and stuff, and within 2 weeks they were looking for guys to go TAD again. I was like, sign me up, get me out of here.
Right.
So I went for 6 months out to Bangor, Washington for Marine Corps Security Forces.
So you were support to the security forces then? Or were you?
Yeah, medical support.
Okay. All right. Now, did you travel anywhere with them, or was this just out in...
No, so the majority of the security forces, a lot of those guys, it's their first command, even the officers, and then you've got the senior guys who, we do training ops and things like that, but their main focus out there was protecting the nuclear subs and the nuclear weapons on the base. We had 2 corpsmen go out there for medical support. They had like 3 full-time guys that staffed their clinic. So a total of 5 corpsmen, really. One of the guys that went TAD out there with me didn't have a deployment or anything, so a lot of my field ops were with the FAST company out there. They're kind of the special forces of the security forces.
Okay.
They do a lot of the mount training and things like that, so I did a lot with them because they wanted somebody with combat experience.
And how long were you with them?
6 months.
Okay. And then back to
Lejeune.
So how much longer were you stuck there at Lejeune?
Maybe about a year. I actually, when I got back, they were looking for people to go work in S6. And they said, if you're going to work in S6, you have to have your A+ certification. Well, luckily, I got my A+ before I had my high school diploma. So I was like, hey, I've already got mine. They're like, all right, you're going to S6. So I got to go work in the 6 shop and actually, have something to do. I was there for the rest of my time there. About 2 months into it, the ops chief, she was a E6, went on leave, and I was the senior E4, so I was in charge of the shop while she was gone, and ended up doing a couple inventories and taking them over to regiment, turning them in, and Gunny comes out, he's like, who the fuck are you? Agent 3 Martin, I'm Med Battalion's S6 acting chief. What do you want? Turning in these inventories. Thought that's what I was supposed to do. He's like, who's HM1 VTUG? That's the ops chief. You're the acting ops chief right now? Yeah. Congratulations, you're the new ops chief. I'm like, what the hell do you mean? He's like, I've been asking for these inventories for 6 months. Crap. Okay.
Oh no.
I was like, I was just doing what I thought I was supposed to. He said, no, you are supposed to be doing them. That's why you're the new ops chief. I'm like, okay, well, you might want to call somebody over there and let them know.
Right? Let's make this official.
Yeah. So that was a little awkward when she got back. But
Yeah, what'd they have her doing when she got back?
they moved her to like S1 or something.
Oh, okay. All right. And then, so how long were you in the 6 shop then? Total.
March. Maybe about a year.
Okay.
Guess I was there longer than I thought I was, now that I think about it.
Yeah. And where'd you go from there?
My least favorite duty station, Portsmouth, Virginia.
Oh,
Naval Medical Center, Portsmouth, Virginia.
my son was born in Portsmouth.
Oh,
I know that place well.
yep.
And what'd you do in Portsmouth?
What didn't I do in Portsmouth? I actually got relieved of duty in the first clinic I was managing. My Marine mentality did not agree with hospital lifestyle again.
Garrison's much different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I had some retired E5 try chewing out my front desk staff. You know, I had an E2 and an E3 working the front desk, and he tried chewing them out while I was back there. I put him in his place, and he went and complained, and it was civilians that were the office managers because of, you know, contracting and stuff.
Right.
So I got my butt chewed by a civilian for yelling at patients. So I ended up bouncing between 2 or 3 clinics before they finally said, all right, you cannot work in a clinic anymore, so you're our new training officer.
You are not a fit.
Yeah, so okay, whatever, I can do that. So I became it's like an E7 billet as an E4. I was a directorate level training officer in charge of all the training for like 11 different clinics.
And did that suit you? Was that a little bit better fit for you than...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to deal with civilians. I didn't have to deal with belligerent patients. I was a TCCC instructor as well, so it was a tactical combat casualty care course for people that were, you know, going from the hospital, TAD, to combat units or things like that. We'd get them ready for going downrange. And it was all combat guys who did that, so it was really our way of taking out aggression.
Right. It works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so you were at Portsmouth for how long then?
That was my final duty station, the end of my career, I guess you would say. 2 years.
Okay. So you ETS from there. We don't call it ETS in the Navy though, do we?
We just call it. I got higher tenured out. Basically,
Okay.
I couldn't pick up rank fast enough, so they gave me the boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, went and ended up dealing with some drama there as well, though. I mean, I was a lead assistant on our sexual assault forensics team. That was about the only healthcare that I did actually enjoy because I viewed it as important. But you know, I brushed elbows with a lot of NCIS agents doing that and stuff. Ended up yeah, basically I couldn't pick up rank because my senior chief, you know, I didn't have, you know, the golden knee pads,
Right.
so I never
You
got.
didn't play the game.
I did not play the game.
No.
No, they only gave the best eval remarks to people who went and sold hot dogs and donuts, and I thought my time was better spent being a TCCC instructor or making sure my training was good to go for all my guys. And I had different priorities. I didn't want to play the politics. I wanted to be a good service member.
You want to do your job.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get out and so you come back to Michigan right away, or what did you do when you got out?
So I was actually supposed to get out February 2015. A girl that I was friends with down there, I ended up moving in with her and her husband because I knew I wasn't going to be able to pick up rank, so I actually tried crossing over to crypto so that I could, you know, have a better chance of promotion. So I didn't renew my apartment lease, and I moved in with her and her husband before I found out that they didn't accept me to the school.
Oh.
So I was just going to ride it out there. But when I moved in with her, I saw that her and her husband were fighting a lot, and I don't even know how it happened, but I started talking to this girl's mom. I think it was because one of the times I came on leave, I had driven the girl's daughter to Ohio.
Okay.
for her so that she could spend time with her grandma. But yeah, while I was living there, I kind of realized she was not a very good mother at all. So I was kind of conspiring with her mother to get custody up to her. Well, she found out. She ended up accusing me of sexual harassment. So I ended up losing my position on the sexual assault forensics team because, if you have a sexual charge against you, you can't exactly be handling evidence of other cases. NCIS basically laughed at that. They're like, yeah, that's not going anywhere. Well, I was supposed to be discharged on February 6th, 2015. February 4th, my LPO calls me. He's like, are you sitting down right now? I was like, hey, I'm in my office. What's up? You're on legal hold. What the hell do you mean I'm on legal hold? It's like, remember that girl who filed charges for sexual harassment? Yeah, she upped it to sexual assault. You've got to be fucking kidding me. So I went on a freaking rager. I drove from Portsmouth over to Norfolk, walked right into NCIS myself. Not the smartest thing I should have done.
Right.
Walked in, like, I need a sexual assault investigator. Like, okay, I walk into his office and I sit down because I knew the guy. He's like, hey, Martin, what are you doing here? I was like, apparently you want to see me. He's like, what are you talking about? Check your paperwork. He looks down, he's like, no freaking way. I'm like, yep. He's like, you want a lawyer? I was like, no, I just want the shit to go away.
Right.
He's like, I got to read you your rights right now, right? Like, well, let's get this over with. But yeah, it ended up getting cleared up pretty quick. I was out of there in 2 months, but
Interesting. 2 months is pretty quick. I mean, 2 months.
it was a very long 2
seems like
months.
a long time to me.
It was a very long 2 months, but it definitely could have been longer.
Yeah, I can believe that.
But yeah, with actually during that 2 months, my high school sweetheart, now my wife, reached back out to me. She was getting out of an abusive relationship, and we ended up finding that we still had very strong feelings for each other, and we ended up getting back together when I got home. So
That's a great story.
yeah,
And how long have you been married?
we've been married 6 years now, 6.5 years.
Okay. All right. So you got out and you came home, met up with your high school sweetheart again.
Yep.
And so what did you do? Like,
Well, there's not too many job opportunities for a unlicensed combat corpsman, so I ended up being a assistant manager at Domino's for a month.
well, that's kind of, there's a word I'm looking for. That's kind of anticlimactic after all the stuff you've done with your life and your career.
Yeah.
Not that it's not important because they need managers, but I mean, how'd that feel like for you?
Kind of sucked going from 8 years wearing the uniform to not really having any opportunities for any gainful employment.
Right. Folding pizza boxes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I delegated that part, but
Well, you were the manager. And you did have some leadership skills, so
Yeah.
I can see that. So how long did you stay there?
I was only there about a month.
Okay.
Went from there to Verizon selling cell phones.
Uh-huh.
While I was there, I had a gentleman come in, bought a charger from me, and then offered me a job on the spot as an insurance agent.
Okay.
So I kind of bounced it around a little bit, talked to the girlfriend at the time,
Uh-huh.
and she's like, I don't know, insurance agents are kind of sleazy sometimes. It's like, yeah, no, that's kind of what I'm feeling. I don't know if I want to do this. And then we find out she's pregnant.
Oh, time to sell phone or time to sell insurance. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. So
Yeah.
I went and interviewed with them. He was a Marine Corps vet. Him and his brother ran the company, and was honestly one of the best employment decisions I made going to work for them. They were absolutely phenomenal. We sold Medicare insurance, so it was all dealing with the older population. Did that for a few years.
Okay. And then what made you decide to leave there?
Cubicle.
That's just not you, is it?
I can't stand sitting in a cubicle.
So where'd you go from there?
I actually got into HVAC at that time. My wife's grandpa, I mean, I had been bouncing around through like 5 different majors up until that point, not knowing exactly what the hell I wanted to do. Then I decided I wanted to get into trades, so I sat down with her. I was like, well, I don't want to be an electrician because I don't want to play with high voltage. I don't want to be a plumber because I don't want to play with poop. I'll go into HVAC. And later I find out really HVAC, you play with all of it. So
Electronics poop, all of it?
yeah, pretty much. But I was going to go to Northwestern Tech out in Southfield, and my wife's grandpa told me to reach out to a gentleman who owned a mechanical contracting company. He's like, no. Drop out of that place, go to LCC, get your associate's degree. I'll hire you after your first semester. Okay. So I dropped out of Northwestern, went to LCC. He hired me after the first semester. I was with him for about 5 months and realized he didn't even know how to spell ethics. So
Oh, that could be a problem.
yeah, that didn't really align with my viewpoints. So
Right.
I left him and bounced around between a couple of residential companies. Finished out my associates right as COVID was hitting. Transferred to Ferris State for my bachelor's. Finished that out in 2023. Yeah, late 2023, I believe. Ended up I had to do an internship to finish my degree, so I got in with my current company doing building automation and controls. They hired me after my internship, and then after I finished my bachelor's, I was like, I'm bored. Master's degree.
Well, at least you take that boredom and do something constructive with it, because a lot of people don't.
That's true.
So that's really good. So associates, bachelor's, master's, and now you're working in your field. Are you enjoying it?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm still trying to find that sense of purpose that I had when I was in the service. Obviously my career since I got out has constantly been improving. Like I told the wife, I'll never just be a little schmuck like, your ex-husband was.
Right.
I'm always going to be better for you, but I'm constantly searching for that sense of employment purpose, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking at going for another master's. And
Right. Well, somebody once said the people that go off to war, the people that go to the military aren't the same people that come back. Do you feel that way?
100%.
What does that mean to you?
I mean, I guess going over there, you lose a part of who you were originally, but at the same time, depending on your experiences, it can mold you into a different person. And me personally, I believe a better person. I'm aware of my demons. I know they're there. But at the same time, I know I have a wife and children who depend on me, and I try to keep those demons hidden because I know the evil that's in this world and I don't want them to ever experience it.
Right. It's a constant battle inside every day. That's how I feel anyway.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Well, tell me, so speaking of your family, tell me about your family. Tell me about your wife. And you have how many kids now?
3.
Okay. All right. So boys, girls, a mix?
All boys.
All boys. How's that going out? How's that working for you?
It's a freaking madhouse.
Yeah.
My oldest is actually hers from her previous marriage, but that POS hasn't seen him in 9 years, I think now.
So you're his dad?
Yeah, he wants me to adopt him. He literally tells everybody I'm his dad.
Yeah.
But the jackass won't sign his rights away, won't just get out of the picture, doesn't pay his child support, nothing. But yeah, he sees me as his dad.
Yeah. That's got to be a good feeling, though. I mean, you're doing something right.
Yeah, something. I don't know what, but something.
So how old are your kids then?
He is 13, and then we've got 9 and 7.
Okay. So active, busy boys?
Yep. The oldest is in orchestra, so he's small for his age. He's about this tall, but he plays the bass in orchestra, so we're toting that thing around all the time.
Yeah.
The younger 2 are both in scouts. They bounce around soccer, basketball. They're all in archery, so they're always doing something.
That's great. Keep them busy.
Yeah.
Of course, you know that, right? You got to keep them busy.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your wife.
That could be a whole nother interview.
Well, give me the small version of it.
I mean, like, we were high school sweethearts. Met her when I was 17 and she was 14. Started dating when I was 18. She was 15. We were constantly getting into trouble back then. Her parents didn't like the fact that I was a legal adult.
Right.
But her grandmother, her aunt, they all supported it. They saw how happy she was. They saw that I treated her good. And, but yeah, she ended up, we split up when I was in Japan, just the distance. She ended up getting married to her first husband. Just before Afghanistan, I straight up asked her to leave him for me, and she told me no, she can't do that. She wants to be a good wife. And so I think that was 2 days before I left. That was the last time I had talked to her in a little over 4 years. During that 4 years, she ended up divorcing him, got remarried to my oldest's biological father. She reached out to me just before I got out, when she was going through her separation with him, and both decided that we still had feelings for each other. So she ended up calling me after I had discharged. I was waiting for TMO to pick up my household goods and get them back to Michigan, and I was driving for Domino's as a delivery driver. And she calls me one night just in tears because he was being abusive. And I was like, I'm on my way. She's like, what? Don't you still have household goods and stuff you have to get? I was like, I'll come back down. I'm on my way. I made that 14-hour drive in about 9 hours.
Broke a few laws.
No.
No speeding laws or anything?
No.
Like that? Okay.
I'm on camera. I didn't break any laws. Yeah. Went, picked her up, got her and her son out of there. We've definitely had our ups and downs, but I mean, I've opened up some of my stories to her, and there's nobody else I'd rather be going through this with than her. I know how miserable I am at times, how miserable I can be at times, and I don't ever want that for her. I don't ever want that for the boys. During the whole thing that happened with Charlie Kirk, I had come across the video of it actually happening, and I told my wife I saw the video, and she's like, I want to see it when I get home. I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I've seen this injury, I've treated this injury, it's a carotid dissection, you do not want to see it. She's like, oh, never mind.
I honestly won't watch it. I can't. I can't.
yeah, for people that have never seen that and don't realize the kind of damage and how much blood goes through that area, it's disturbing.
Horrific.
But yeah, those kind of evils I try to keep from her, from the kids. I know how hard it is for me to be happy, so I just want them to be happy. I'll feed off of their happiness.
So we've covered a lot in the last hour. Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you want to talk about?
You're the interview. I'm just asking the question. I'm just answering the questions.
All right. Well, I always like to make sure, because sometimes there's things that you want to talk about that we don't. So really, I just have one last question to ask you then. I ask everyone the same question. For people listening to this years from now, and even for your family or for anyone else, what would you like people to take away from this interview, and also what would you like people to take away from your life and the way that you've lived it? Essentially, what's your message?
Military service is a double-edged sword. You'll never find a greater sense of self-purpose or self-worth, especially going overseas, doing a combat tour, gaining that brotherhood with people you're closest to. But at the same time, when you get out, you're never going to find that sense of self-purpose or self-worth again. So it's the people who are able to find happiness after it, I truly admire, because I'm like, if I didn't have my wife, I don't know where the hell I'd be.
Yeah. She gets you.
She really does.
I can see it in your eyes when you're talking to me right now. We all need that person.
Yeah, she's that person for me.
I'm glad that you found her. I really am.
Yeah, glad she came back. So.
All right. Well, I just wanted to thank you for coming out here, and I know that we had to work on scheduling, and we finally made it out here. But I'm really glad that I got to talk to you today. Thank you so much for sharing your story with me.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Veterans Archives. We hope you enjoyed this veteran story. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button, like and share our videos, as well as checking us out on social media. We're on Facebook and TikTok, LinkedIn, X, and Instagram. Be sure to check out those pages, share, and like. And for more information about what we do, go to www.veteransarchives.org.